What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Mic'd Up State podcast. I'm your host, KT Temple, and I've got an incredible guest for you guys today. I have Chelse Moffatt on the podcast to talk about her office and her journey in real estate and why you might be thinking about joining her office at Keller Williams. So thank you so much for joining us, Chelse.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
So tell everyone a little bit about who you are, where your office is, and just a little bit about your role.
Yeah. So again, I'm Chelse Moffatt, and I'm in upstate Western New York. I'm located in Rochester, New York. We work with Rochester and surrounding areas, and I'm a team leader, realtor, and maps coach. So I wear different hats for different people at different times. And I've been working with Keller Williams for the past 11 incredible years.
Awesome. So what drew you to the leadership side of real estate?
So I started my career actually as an admin. That was my foray into real estate. I started working with clients about a year in, listing specialist. Then I earned my way up to director of sales and helped grow what they call a mega team, which is really just a group of agents that are doing an incredible volume of business for the market. And in doing so, I found that not only do I have a love for systems and models and tools, but I love realtors. And I found that I had a huge passion for working with realtors, people who wake up every day and bet on themselves. And I wanted to be part of their journey to help them get more of what lives in their imagination and realize it into real life so that they can have businesses that they're really proud to own. And in leadership, I found that I get to do more of that. So that's why I was drawn to the leadership side.
So when you think of a successful agent, what does that mean to you beyond like how many closings that they have during the year?
Good question. So a successful realtor has evolved through my career. At first, it was units, volume, grind, produce. And at a certain point, I really leaned into for myself that we're human beings, not human doings, and taking a holistic view of success. And the way I see a successful realtor is somebody who has been able to create outcomes through their activities that they feel connected to while maintaining the human aspect of being a human being. And that's wealth building, family building, lifestyle, just having the experience that really plus and enhance our one wild journey here on planet Earth.
So as a team leader, how do you invest into making sure that happens?
It's a unique experience for everyone, right? Everyone is different. So as a team leader, it's my role I envision it kind of like I'm the water in a river going around rocks, and it creates space for the rocks, and my agents are the rocks. So I have to really transform my approach to meet them where they are in the river or the journey or whatever. And so I have to know my agents. I have to know what makes them tick. I have to know what motivates them, what demotivates them. And so that's how it shows up in the TL role of knowing each individual agent, how they personally define success, and how I can show up, help them watch their blind spots, and help them create outcomes that they really want.
So every office talks about the culture in their office. So how would you describe the vibe in your office and what that does for the culture?
The vibe in the office is it's a place that I want to be. And I think that might sound really self-serving, but I think that I'm a good representation of the agent population in our area. And so when you come into our office, the first thing that you'll notice is from the very first greeting from Molly or Haley at the front desk, you feel cared for. You feel welcomed. You feel like someone's excited to see you and really wants to know how actually are you. That to me, that first impression, that first initial welcome embodies and really illustrates what it's like to be here. So the vibe and the culture, the people want to be here. Our agents want to be here. Our agents find connection and they find their place in the people because that's the culture. So
we got so spoiled from COVID. And as a realtor, you don't ever have to go to the office. So I just think it's so important to have that vibe, that welcoming office space that people want to be at, because it can be a very isolating business.
It can be. And I would say the being here with our agents, they want to help each other learn and grow. We've done a great job at creating what I call affectionately the hive mind. And the hive mind is everyone is stronger together. So we're sharing experiences in the market. We're sharing experiences with client conversations. We're sharing experiences on how to show up as the best professional for our clients as possible. And there isn't one person that we couldn't knock on their door and say, hey, can you help me? It would be, of course I can. Let me give you a couple of minutes to give you what you need, because I know that there's going to be a day where I'm going to need something from somebody else. So it's a really solid give and get culture.
Well, and that kind of leads me to another question, which is profit share, the reason behind a lot of that culture. Can you explain the importance of profit share and why it makes KW so different?
Yeah, the profit share model is brilliant. And what it is, if you've never heard of it, and the way I see it is when myself in the leadership of our office creates and maintains a culture of productivity, welcome, and sharing, and we're creating value through education and learning so that they can connect their business growth with what they're getting here at Keller Williams. We've earned the right to ask, hey, who else in your world, your agent friends that are not with Keller Williams, who would benefit from being here? Who could really plant their roots here and take it from just being a practitioner of real estate to a business owner? When they invite those individuals in, the owner of the brokerage gives a portion of their profit back to the agents that have helped us grow. And so they have financial reward just by sharing their experience of how great it is here, bringing people into the fold, and then the owner shares their profit, which I think is super cool.
It's incredible. Yeah. I think about that model a lot when I go to other businesses. And I'm like, how much better could this be if the employees here had a financial stake in this place, right? How much more would they care? And I think it just changes the whole vibe of KW, of everyone's here to make sure we're all successful, right?
Yeah. In addition, another piece that I find really compelling with profit share, being a profit share company means that all of our agents understand that the resources that we have are invested in their education, their learning, and their growth. You might walk into our office and say, it's kind of austere. It's not a lot of bells and whistles, because the profits earned are poured back into education, growth, and development, and giving that actual cash money back to the agents who help us grow.
And so you mentioned education. So KW is often called a training and coaching company that just happens to sell real estate. So how does the focus benefit a brand new agent or a seasoned pro?
Yeah, both agents, when you commit to being growth minded, whether you're brand new in the business or you've been doing it forever, it's the things you learn when you think you know it all that help you break through the ceiling. So whether you're an experienced agent, you're like, okay, I've been through this. I've been in the trenches for years and years and years. What can I share with you about wealth building? What can I share with you about business building? What can I share with you about leaving an impact that matters or an influence that matters? And a new agent, let's be real. When you go to real estate school, they teach you how to not go to real estate jail or real jail, whatever.
How not to commit fraud. Got it.
But they're not walking you through how to be a professional. They're not walking you through the soft skills of working with real people in real scenarios that need real consultation. They're not sharing with you how to build a business, how to generate leads with people who are aligned with what you're uniquely qualified to solve for. And so a new agent is going to benefit because it's all about bringing you up to speed and teaching you what you need to know to do this job at a very deep level. And then the experienced agents, once you've proven that you could be a realtor, let's turn your real estate into a full-fledged business. So that's what we're really focused on.
Yeah, it's you see people get that new like real estate license and they don't realize they got a license to run a business, not a license to get a job. You can go get a job, but most people are an independent business owner, and no one prepared them for that. And so it is often a shock. And I think it's amazing what KW does, coming in there and helping them build a business, not just to be a good employee, right? So when a new agent joins your brokerage, what do the first 90 days look like to make sure that they're hitting the ground running and just being as successful as possible?
Yeah. So we have a program called Agent Ascend, which is similar. If you're in the Keller Williams world, it's similar to the Ignite program, condensed down into 30-day chunks. And what that is designed to do within 30 days to take an individual from newly licensed, ready to not go to real estate jail, to a professional able to help buyers and sellers achieve their goals as a professional. It's designed to get them there as quickly as possible. And we've incorporated lecture style, and we've incorporated practice, role play, and the components that help adults learn. And so we have that program. We also have what we call productivity coaching. And what that is, it's a one-to-one or group coaching model run by a gentleman named Jason Mancuso, who's part of one of the top teams in New York State, who walks you through specifically to you, the way you're aligned, the way your brain works, to what you're willing and not willing or able or not able to do to build a business. So not only are we going to teach you in lecture and practice, but we're going to bring you into the fold with a trained coach that is invested, and their job is to work with you one-to-one or small group to make it possible that you're creating what lives in your imagination, and then hold you accountable or
So
able.
now I get to add Jason to the list of people I got to get on the show.
Jason's a very cool guy. Yeah,
Yeah,
super
we'll
smart
be
guy.
sending this to you, Jason. So just know I'm hacking it out. So what's the biggest mistakes that you see people make?
In real estate in general, or launching your career?
Getting started. So you're a brand new agent, and you've got all these resources, you've got all this time. What mistake do you see them make in those first 90 days that potentially could have saved them time or money, or saved their career completely? Because that first year is make it or break it for a lot of people. They don't renew their license. So what mistakes have you seen that you think could have saved these careers?
Yeah. There's a bunch, and I'm going to narrow it down to a few. One
Okay.
is mistaking simple for easy. And what that means is we are here to link arms with you to show you the simple way to success. But simple is not easy. Simple is a clear path, and it is not always easy. It will require you to wake up unemployed every day, bet on yourself, whether you're feeling the momentum of success or whether you're feeling the pressure of the results aren't materializing yet. That's the difficult part. So we will help make it simple, but you will show up and consistently walk the path. Whether it's easy or difficult is really up to your mindset and the way you frame it. So that's the first thing. And the other thing is, how long do you believe it will take to have results? And understanding that building a business is not the same as starting a job.
Yeah.
Right? Starting a job, we're going to teach you how to do a job. You're going to punch a clock. You're trading your time for money. You're no longer trading your time for money as a realtor. You're trading your skills for financial reward. And the more skills you have, the more valuable the general population of buyers and sellers will find you. And so looking at that, to have expectations of how long the on-ramp is before you start to see it. And this is not a job. This is not a job. This is a lifestyle.
And it's a business, like you said earlier. It's a lot more. People sign up for a lot more than they think until they go, oh, I got to do the lead generation too. I gotta run the business as well. Until you replace yourself, you're everything, right?
Yeah.
So who's the perfect fit for your brokerage? Who are you looking for?
I'm looking for agents who love learning. I'm looking for agents that understand that you didn't create yourself a really sophisticated job or hamster wheel, that this is a business, and that you're curious to know, what is it like to run a business? I'm looking for agents who love to collaborate, who understand that there's an abundance of opportunity. There's enough for everyone to eat at the table, and sharing doesn't put you on the back foot with your competition. It, in fact, will enhance your experience as an agent and create a really strong community around you. So I'm looking for agents who also want to stand 10 toes down as a true professional. Like that is a Keller Williams agent.
If an agent is currently at a different brokerage and feels stuck, what is the first thing that you would tell them to look for in a new home?
First, I would say call me.
Okay. And her information will be in here, and we'll tell you at the end how to get in contact with Chelse.
Yeah. You're looking for who's the voice or who's the person in your life who is consistently rooting for the highest version of yourself. The person who understands that you've got potential that's locked in you. And sometimes it just takes a person, a voice, a model, an idea that will help for you to walk that path of exploring that version of yourself. And if you don't have someone in your professional world, that voice for you, that role needs to be filled. That's someone in your org chart that should be there. And if you don't have that voice, that person who's not only rooting for you, but has the knowledge, skills, and tools to help you along your journey, that's a missing person. And it's not even really about the broker splits and the money and you get free copies or business cards or sign panels. At the end of the day, those are fancy bells and whistles. But if it's not pushing you towards or helping you develop a business, what value is it anyway? So really looking at what's being offered, really what's beyond just the financial piece, that you're filling a role on your organizational chart when you're looking for a broker.
What's your big audacious goal for your office over the next few years, and how can new agents be a part of that?
Yeah. I want to be known as the brokerage that houses the highest professional agents in our market, pillars in the community, and people building businesses and you'll be able to tell that they're building a business when they are so systematic that they can scale without giving away a piece of their soul. Okay. If you've been in the industry, you know what I'm talking about. It doesn't need to be a trade-off. And that's how I'll measure success. And there's numbers and metrics behind it, but that is the fastest way to explain what lives in my imagination that I'm trying to realize.
So thank you so much for your time. If someone's thinking about joining your office, or they just want to talk to you, get some advice about Keller Williams, and if they're thinking about making that move, how can somebody get in contact with you?
Shoot me a text. And if you're not sure, here's what you can expect. Once you text me, this is what will happen next. I'll reach out and I'll ask if we want to have a business conversation and just review where you are today and where you want to go and what the bridge might look like between here and there. And at the end of the day, if that includes Keller Williams, we're going to link arms and we're going to go, but I'm going to help you understand what's most important to you. So either way, at the end of a conversation, you'll leave with something more clear than you did going into the conversation. That's my commitment.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. Guys, thank you so much for listening. If you found this helpful, or if you know somebody who's thinking about joining Keller Williams, shoot them this episode. If you would subscribe to this, leave us a review. It really does help us out a lot. We'll be back again next week with another episode. Thanks so much again, Chelse.
Thank you so much for having me.